Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joy Stamp with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon, and today I'm doing my card class club video for the Submarine Life bundle. So this is a bundle because it has an option to have the punch to come along with it, which punches out the cute little shapes for our cute little submarine with his little propeller and what is that called, would you say? That's like the telescope thingy? There's a word for it. I will think of it maybe. But today we're making 4 cards using this set. And this is for my card club members who have ordered this kit already and have the supplies with them to make this as well. If you did not order this kit but want the PDF to learn how to make these cards with measurements, please email me and I'll give you information how to get that. All right. So for our cards today, these ones were actually designed by my member for club named Linda Day. She did an amazing job making these. These are so fun. I'm loving the stamp set because look at that, 22 different stamps. So you can make so many fun creations with this one. These are just some ideas, and there are many more things you could do with this. We have 2 fun folds for this and 2 basic folds for this one. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with our simple one first, which is the Sending Oceans of Love. I say simple, but it does require a little bit of extra fun to it. So let me grab that kit out. This is the Lost Lagoon base. So if you're stamping along with me, grab that one. Your kit will look something like this, where you'll have this long piece here, or a piece so you can stamp on there. And then you'll have your DSP. I have those measurements for you, so you just need to cut those out. And then you'll have 3 of these awesome looking rectangle ones that we'll stamp on, and then a basic white for your banner, and then this amazing glimmer paper here. All right, let me go ahead and grab my foam mat so we can do our stamping first. And let me grab a sheet of paper or a grid sheet or just something. There we go. Because I usually like to do a practice. So this is just a piece of printer paper, and I just will fold it in half, and then I'll put it on my foam mat so that it matches it in a nice shape. And then I'll use 1/2 of this as I go and unfold. I have 4 sections to use to do some practice stamping on. All right, so for this one, we're going to do our cute little seaweed for the bottom. And that's going to be in our lemon line twist. I always say lucky for this one, but it's lemon line twist. So we'll grab those pieces in. First, though, I do like to practice because this has been a really juicy, or really well inked. There we go. That looks pretty good. Ink pad. And since it's photopolymer, it has some grooves to it. So sometimes those grooves fill in with the ink. So you just have to be careful when you look at it, which is easy to tell just by looking usually. So that one looks good. And I'm going to make these at different heights. So this one I'm not going to stamp all the way on. You'll see it coming off on that piece of printer paper. This one I'll make as tall as I can. And then I'm going to even just angle it. It looks like it's moving in the water and coming into the center there. Awesome. Okay, that's all for that color. Then we need to grab the Azure Afternoon for our cute little bubbles. This one does require a lot of stamping with inks because it has all those great images. So you can use what you have. If you don't have this shade of blue, you can switch it out for another. It's very forgiving because of that piece of paper we're using. It has lots of colors. All right. We'll go ahead and, this paper right now is in August, is on sale, 15% off. It's part of our Designer Series paper sale. And so I highly recommend you grabbing some when it's on this great deal. The name of it is escaping me, so let me look at my paper here in a minute so I don't forget. I think it's like Brights and Beautiful, I want to say. All right, there's our bubbles. So for the bubbles, all I did was kind of go in a row, but had it look like it's varying a little bit. I don't want them to be all straight across, so this one's a little bit lower. but it's totally up to you. All right, so put those there. That's the end of stamping with that color. Now let's grab our piece of our little strip of paper. We can set these ends aside. Our little strip, sending oceans of love. This one, make sure you have a long clear block for. This is the letter H, and that should work out nicely. And I'm using the Lost Lagoon, which is the same color as the card base, so that makes it a nice match. This one, definitely do a practice stamp. But if you do mess up, that's the awesome thing about the paper is that it's double-sided, so you could always flip it and do it again. All right, that turned out pretty nice. Now I just need to line it up on my paper here. Press down. Nice. Okay, that one's stamped. And next we're going to do our sea creature. So you'll have a piece of basic white. It's long enough so you can, my card member is going to make 2 of each design. So they need to make sure they stamp it twice on this piece. And then we're going to fussy cut it out. So for this one, we have Pretty Peacock for our cute little fish. We have the Berry Burst for our little crab. And then we have Fresh Freesia for our octopus friend. So grab those out, set them right there. We'll do one color at a time. And our cute little octopus. Okay, again, do a light onto your ink pad. Do a quick practice. Get a little bit darker. And then we'll, if you're making 2 cards, make sure you stamp it twice. Cute. Okay. And we'll do our Berry Burst crab. This is the one I found that because of the way his goggles eyes are, his googly eyes, his goggles over his eyes, sometimes it's easy to get too much ink on there. Let's see how we do. See how he has that filled in? Okay, so I'm going to do another practice. Make sure I don't put too much ink on. That's looking better. I'm going to do a quick wipe though. Get a little fresh start. Okay, let me watch that color, pick up on that ink pad, and I'll press down. Nice. See, sometimes you just have to practice a little to make sure it's the right amount of ink, a right pressure. Play with your stamps before you officially commit to it, the piece of paper you want to stamp them on. And our Pretty Peacock for our little fishy friend here. This one's also super cute with a little snorkel gear. I don't know if you guys have ever been snorkeling before. It is so much fun, but sometimes it's scary. I used to be really afraid of it, and then I took my trip to the Philippines, and they had the best water there. My husband and I went this past June, and we had a great time snorkeling in by the 100 islands over there. So super fun. Okay, look at that. Oh my goodness, they're all snorkeling. Which is kind of funny because they don't need a snorkel. All right, paper snips. Grab those and let's do some fussy cutting. We'll move this out for a minute. You'll find that you'll do a lot of that because there is a punch, but the punch only cuts out 3 shapes, and this has 22 different shapes. Oop, be careful. Look, I have my thumbprint on that one. I'm just going to separate our creatures so they're easier to fussy cut around. And it's up to you how detailed around this you want to go. I usually will go around these larger pieces fairly close. And then the little tentacles, his legs, the octopus legs, we're going to not go all the way in on them. I don't want to make sure that I'm not making it too fragile. So this one I'll go in just that first little bend of his leg. And then we'll come back down. We'll go around this guy. Again, going up just a little bit, just to give it some look of legs dangling, but not making it so it's just fragile. You know, you don't want it to be on your card and then it get bent wrong and all of a sudden his legs are missing. So we want to protect his legs. We thought this would be a fun set to use to kind of end summer. I don't know about you guys if you have kids or grandkids back in school yet. My kids go tomorrow. I go back to work tomorrow at the elementary school. And so this is our last fun look at summer. Next month's kit will be a Halloween themed one, which is super exciting for September. Get ready for October. That's how I usually do it, a month in advance. Whatever the holiday is the next month is what we do the month before. Just to give you some time to get supplies you need to make everything. And so we're going to do a fun add-on feature though. So of course we'll have our 4 cards option. And then for a low price add-on, you can get the kit supplies for treat holders. Since it's Halloween, we thought that's a fun idea to have treat holders, because that's what I usually give out versus cards to my coworkers and neighbors. So we'll have 4 ideas of treat holders that will be the optional add-on to our regular price. So I'll have that sign up hopefully ready by the 25th this month. Well, definitely by the 1st. I always have it ready by the 1st. Sometimes I get it done earlier. And those links are always over on my blog. So if you're like, I want to know what event she has going on, that's where you can find my events. It's over there easily. All right, we have them all fussy cut out. One thing I didn't do for this one, and it's part of the instructions, so let me grab that back out so you can know how to do that, is we use a sponge dauber and the Lost Lagoon to go around the rectangles. And I didn't do it originally because it's not usually my style, but I want to show you how it looks, and if you like it, then you can do that to your cards as well. When I use a sponge dauber, I usually use it for like crumb cake to make it like a more of a vintage look. I rarely do actual color on it, but you might love the way this looks. So what I'm going to do, sponge dauber, finger, tap it in my Lost Lagoon, and we're just going to go around these edges here. Kind of create a false mat here. Make it look like we have a piece of cardstock behind it, but we actually have just added the ink. So it's a great way to add a color layer without adding bulk. Again, I don't do it very often, but look how nice that looks. And you'll see the difference between the 2 cards and decide which one you want. And if you're like me, you'll have one of each. So I have my one with and without, because kits come with 2 cards to make. And I'm just going along the edge. And I only inked it once because you don't need a whole lot of color. There we go. Looking cute. 1 ink. And work our way around. You'll see I'm not going straight on. I'm just brushing it across. Okay, now that I've done it, I'm kind of really liking it. I'm telling you, Linda's smart. She knows her designs. She's been doing this for years and just amazing at it. All right, I think we're ready to assemble. Grab your card base in, grab your bone folder, get that nice and creased so it lays flat for us. Grab your Designer Series paper, which has double-sided, so you can pick, but I definitely love that multicolored look here. And we're going to go liquid glue to the back. And we're going to go about 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch from the bottom, depending how big you want that to be. If you need help, use a grid sheet underneath and line it up from one side to the next. And it sometimes looks like I cut my DSP too long, and so I can flip this over now and I can use my paper snips to trim it, but it's actually not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. Oh, we need banner 1 end of our glimmer paper here. So I'm going to take this, go in the center, just make a little snip. Then I'm going to take this corner to that center and meet it there. Corner to that center I mean it there. We've created a cute little banner. This one we're going to use liquid glue on the back. We're going to kind of start from the bottom up for this one. And you'll see why in just a second. We want to make sure our spacing's good. Okay, have that go all the way to the end of the card and have about a 1/4 of an inch of bottom there. Again, if you need to use your grid sheet underneath there to line it up just right, you can. Nice. Then we're going to grab this guy and some dimensionals on the back of it. You want at least 3, maybe even 4. It's pretty long, but we'll get away with 3. Oh, I left this guy in here so you can see a good example of my over ink in his, he totally lost his eyes. He kind of looks like he's over dilated there. All right, sending oceans of love, and we're going to just have that here on the edge as well. Line it up there, press down, nice. Next we have our pieces of basic white that we need to add on, and for these ones I'm going to do my outsides first. So, and if you want, definitely play with it so you know the replacement. Luckily I have mine in front of me so I kind of have an idea of where they need to go. I'm going to give myself a 1/4 of an inch of edge right here, and I'm going to come all the way down to where my glimmer paper is. Okay, so we have a little bit on top, and I'm going to do the same thing for this guy, but he won't hit the glimmer paper, so I'll just have to make sure I'm doing it in the right spot. Okay, right about there. Looks like about a 1/4 of an inch. Okay, center one. Now this is the tricky one. This is where you're going to have to hover over first. So I'm going to kind of line it up on the bottom, scoot it over one way to make sure it looks like it's even on both sides. There we go. Looking good. Looking good. Okay. Next, we just need to go ahead and flip these guys over, add dimensionals to the back of them, and then we'll do some embellishing. The kit comes with this amazing embellishment called the flat adhesive backed pearls. They are so pretty. They are such a fun add to this one. All right, little Crabbian. I'm going to put him so he's going over our glimmer paper a little bit. Looks like he's crawling along the bottom. Our octopus here, we're going to have him with the bubbles coming up from his little guy here, snorkel gear, and he's kind of over. And then this guy's going to be in between. So bottom, highest one is the octopus, and then our little fishy friend is going to be swimming here in between the two of them. Cute, cute. Okay, now we can embellish. And you can put these wherever. Usually use 3. I'm going to have it to where we have one right here with this little fishy here. That's the smaller. There's 2 sizes. And then we'll put another one on this guy here. And depending on, because they're oval, you can turn them and it'll look like a totally different shape there just by turning it. And then this cute, the larger one here on this side. So they all have their own little pearl looking. Oh my goodness, so pretty. See how that just catches on the light? I'm loving, loving that. Okay, there's a difference between those 2, original and second, and that one has the added inking all around the side there. All right, let's go ahead and go on to our next one in our PDF. I'm just following along with that. Card number 2 is going to be a flipping over the submarine. So we now have a hot air balloon, or what is this called? I'll think of it. Hold on. I'm only thinking of the one that got destroyed. A blimp. It's a blimp. That's what it is. It's a blimp. Usually it's a submarine, but we created a blimp for this one, and it says floating by just to say hi. So super, super cute. Let me grab the pieces for this one. This has a basic white card base. And for yours, you'll already have your glimmer. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. There we go. All of your glimmer paper for this one will already be pre-die cut out. You'll just have to cut your DSP and do all your stamping and punching out. If you don't have the punch for your kit, then feel free just to fussy cut that one. It won't be as clear or as nice around it, but you can get pretty close. Okay, we have strips of our Berry Burst glimmer paper. We have our designer series paper here. We also have some cute clouds out of the glimmer paper that we have used the plain and the rain dies for. That one's great because it's a cluster of 3 clouds, so it's already ready to go. All right, and then we have our piece of basic white to do our stamping on and our little banner. Let's grab our foam mat out again. And I'm gonna flip this one over now onto card 2 for our practice. Okay. Oh, and don't forget your center piece of basic, well, our blue for that one, the DSP. We're creating a fun sky scene. Okay, we are going to grab our floating by just to say hi and our pretty peacock. Open that one up. Again, liking to do a test. I can already see when I move over to the white. So right here, I can't tell if it's already nicely inked until I put it on that white background. And then it's easier for me to tell if it's completely inked nicely or if it's missing a spot. Okay. And then this one, you want to go all the way to the left side, the far left of our little banner strip here, because we're going to banner that end on that side. Okay, do a quick clean. That one's good, and that's all for that color. Pretty peacocks, so put that one away. Next, we're gonna need the Berry Burst and the Lemon Line Twist. And the tricky part of this one is knowing where to stamp because of the punch. So I'm gonna get the punch back in view. When you put the paper in it, it's gonna look like this. So I'm gonna make sure I stamp it looking like the Submarine, so and it's closer to my edge here. So we'll put that there so I don't forget. I did forget the first time. I had to do some trimming on it. So a lemon line twist. And then I like to do the biggest image first and then just find space for that little propeller guy. Okay, this one definitely needs to be a practiced one because of those little holes there. Get too much ink and it fills it in. See, it's a little juicy there, but it's not too bad. I'm not too worried. We're going to be non-perfectionists, but definitely practice if you want yours to be super clear. Okay, remember, Submarine style, even though we're making a blimp. Oh, see how juicy that is? I think I have 2 sides of this ink pad. One's a little bit more juicy than the other. There we go. Hopefully that's good. Close to the bottom edge. Submarine style. Press fully. Oh, that one turned out nice. I like that one. Okay. If you want at this point, you could go ahead and punch this out because what happens is that there's top pieces here and then you don't want to stamp there for your propeller and say, hey, now I just stamped not in the right spot. Let's see if we'll line it up here for a punch. So when we're punching something, we have it so you have to kind of start lightly squeezing until it catches it. So I have my hand on it now. I've caught it where it needs to be and then I punch it all the way through. Nice. Okay, now that we have that, we can do our propeller. Again, look at my punch. So I can see my propeller is kind of going at that direction there. Let me grab my Berry Burst. Back in. And we'll propeller it. And you'll see that there's 2 parts of propeller. There's like a little half circle there and then like a little attachment to it. That one is going to the inside. We'll do a practice. Looks good. So I'm going to place this one kind of this angle here. Nice. Do a quick clean. Some of these we reuse for this kit, so I'm going to make sure I clean it in between each time. And now we'll grab our punch again and line it up. It's important when you are punching out, you don't want to have the exact size that you need because you need to have a holding spot for your hand. So even if I didn't punch this one out, I'd want this paper here on the side for me to be able to hold on to. Okay. I start the pinching of the paper so it's holding it in place. let go, and punch. And you always want to punch with Stampin' Up! Punches facing you. The other side shows what it is, and it's really shiny. I don't like showing that on the camera because it reflects and you can see my ceiling or my camera. So, but this is the way it stores at this side, and you close it up like this so it can store flat and nicely. But when you're using it, make sure that you're looking at it from the underneath side. Okay. That should be all of our prep work, minus just making a cute banner on this one. And then it's just all about attaching. So this one's fairly easy. Our first 2 cards usually are. We're just showing you some techniques that you can use on those cards. And then the last 2 are usually a little bit more advanced, saying, hey, you've practiced. You know what you're doing now. Let's step this up a little bit, giving you either more layers or making it a fun fold. You want to make sure that we're satisfying all levels of stamping, and then just teaching new methods too. Okay, basic white is in. Grab our bone folder. And Linda did a great job giving you measurements for this one. So on here, you can either grab a pencil if you want, but she has said for the top, so a berry burst, it's going to be a 1/2 inch from the top and bottom of the card. So 1/2 inch would be, let me grab my pencil here. Here's my 1/2 inch. And here's my 1/2 inch on that side. You can go on the other side and line it up too. So that way you know it's going to be straight. 1/2 inch. And my 1/2 inch there. Okay, so we're going to go from the top and bottom and work our way in for this one. Grab our liquid glue. And just do 1 line of it on the back here. Nice. And try to go in the center of your piece so that way it has some squish room. And I'm just going to cover up that pencil piece. I'm not even going to worry about erasing it. Looks like I cut that one a little bit long, so what I'm going to do is have a straight edge on one side and have me be able to trim it on the other. Okay. It's looking good, looking good. And I'll do all my trimming at the end. Next we have our DSP. Again, put some liquid glue on the back. She said for this one you want covering it about 1/4 inch. So we have about halfway on this guy, which you can definitely check it out and see. There we go. To get, because we have the measurement, you can use it. However, sometimes I just eyeball things. Oh, and you'll notice that the chevron has a up and down position. Looks like I'm going, oh, actually it's both. No, yeah, this one's going more inward. So I make sure that when I don't put it this way so they are not matching. I want it to go the same flow. So that way they're all pointing the same direction. Nice. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Grab our piece of DSP that has that blue side to create our sky. And then this one's just a matter of lining up. No measurement for this one. Just looking at it, it's about 1/2 inch, I want to say, of DSP now showing. Nice. I'm going to take my paper snips real quick and trim those sides. Now that should be dry. It won't be moving on us. I just line it up along that card base as my guide. Okay. So it's easy. It's better to have too much than not enough, right? All right. Now let's rotate that guy. Let's put liquid glue on the back of this one. And he's going to go right over our DSP parts where they meet, but not in the center. So you see where my banner in is here? It's higher on the blue versus on that bottom DSP. Nice. Then we're going to add this guy with some dimensionals. Flip him over. And we're going to put one here on his bottom. We'll do 3. Make like a triangle-like look. And then for this guy, he also needs dimensionals, but he's kind of a little guy. So if you have minis, grab your minis, mini dimensionals. If you don't have minis, just cut a full dimensional in half. I have a couple minis left. Oh, this one has one on it. And I want on the back of it a dimensional on both sides. Let's see if I have another mini. I do. Usually in the paper pumpkin kits come these cute little minis and these little sizes here. And so I always have leftovers, so that's nice to use. Okay, my backs are off. And we're gonna put this guy first, right about there. Make sure you give yourself enough propeller space back here. You could even almost do the propeller first. And then, okay. We're gonna just stick it so it looks like it's behind our blimp here. So it looks like it's connected. Cute. And then we just have our cute little clouds. And you can pick where they go. Again, we like to use the rule of triangle, kind of. So I'm gonna put some liquid glue on the back of each one. And then we're going to put this larger one on the bottom of our blimp. The smallest one right kind of behind that top left. And then the medium-sized one's gonna go a little bit lower, but come a little bit out. Like so. There we go. You can see that all. And then we just need to embellish. And even though this is a blimp in the sky, these pearls still look amazing with it. 3 of them again. We'll do a large one here at the bottom. And then 2 smalls. Again, turning the direction of it. So I have one going horizontal. And then, oh, I don't think he got his sticky with it. Good time to learn. So my glue dot that's attached to it to help it make it adhesive backed sometimes gets stuck on there. So I just put it back on, put a little bit of heat and pressure to it, and it catches it again. All right, so that one's going horizontal. This one's going to go more up and down, and that gives it a different angle there. Let's get close up so you can see. Oh my goodness, so pretty. Isn't that fun? This one turned out a lot better than my original. My original, I can kind of see my glue was slipping on me and it wasn't as straight. This one looks amazing. I'm going to take photos of this one. That's my model card here. Loving that. Let's go on to our next. We'll keep you going. All right, card number 3 is called You Are Sublime. And it is this guy here. So cute. He's fun because check him out. He opens up. Our saying's still there in the top. We use the stylish shapes to cut the banner, and I use stylish shapes for the circle glimmer paper, but the 2 3/4 punch is what Linda used. So you can use either or, depending on what you have. I did not have that punch, so we got creative and used what we had. And let me grab the kit for this one. It's the Azure Afternoon card base. So in your kits, you already have it cut the way it needs to be. And I did that because that's where I got our little banner piece here. So I went ahead, measurements are with your PDF, so if you want to recreate this, you totally can. But this will be for our inside. We can go ahead and attach him now, this basic white. Let me grab my Stampin' Still Plus. And then we'll get ready to stamp. You're going to need your Azure Afternoon, your Berry Burst, and Lemon Lime Twist will be our inks of choices for this one. Okay, there we go. And then I have a strip of DSP. We'll just add it here too while we're doing this. We're going backwards today. You can pick which side. I'm loving both sides, the stripes or the circles, but I'm doing the circles because I think that matches really nicely with that glimmer paper there. Okay, we'll push pause there. We'll grab our pieces back in, and let's go ahead and do our next stamping. Again, you'll have a strip of paper, and this banner piece will need a stamp as well. Okay, get your punch out so you know which way to stamp your submarine, and let's grab our Berry Burst. We'll do a quick practice on our, you can see how Can't even hear this one. This one's like super juicy. See, so too much ink there. I'm gonna go a little bit lighter. I'm gonna do a quick wipe and just not press as hard into my ink pad. We'll do more of a like a roll on. There we go. We'll do one more. Make sure it's good. Oh, that tip right there. Okay. Should we try it? I'm okay if it's not perfect. I always say that to myself. There we go. Oh, that turned out pretty good. I'm going to call it perfect. Okay, clean off our blimp for future use, or our submarine, depending on which card we're making. All right, lemon line twist is what we need for our propeller and our little, I want to call it a telescope, but I don't think that's what it's called, like a periscope. I think that sounds better. Okay, again, refer to your punch at this point. Remember, our propeller has it going down this direction, and you'll notice that this little guy has it turning this way. So be mindful of that when you're getting ready to stamp on your piece here. I'm going to go ahead and do one on each side. So I'll grab my propeller, we'll ink it up, we'll do a practice ink, practice stamp, that's pretty good, and we'll put it right here in this corner. Nice. Then we need to keep that color out, and we're going to turn this over though, and I'm going to stamp it so it matches my punch. Direction, practice stamp. This one stamps pretty good every time. Nice. Okay. Oh, and while we're still here, let's finish our stamping. You are sublime. This one gave me a little bit of troubles last time, but I kind of like the way it looked. So this one filled in the A and the B here. Let me show you. You see how it looks like it's filled, but I felt like that's like a whole new font choice. And you still tell that it says you are sublime. And so I was totally fine with it. All right, let's do a practice though. Again, this Azure Afternoon I have here is really juicy, so I'm going to try to do more of a light touch onto here. We'll do a practice. Nice. So don't over ink it if your ink pads are super wet like mine. And then come to our banner here. You are sublime. In the center, press and lift. Nice. That one turned out great. I worried for no reason. Okay, now we should do some punching, and then we can finish our assembling. Okay, submarine first. Place it in here. Hold it on the side. You should be pros at this by now. Start the press and punch out. Perfect. There we go. Then we're going to grab our propeller at the bottom, angle it in. Have the white banner on all the sides here. Oh, see, it wiggles because I wasn't holding it tight yet. And I'm going to just shimmy it a little bit more. There we go. Pop that out. And then flip it so we can do our last piece here. Our little scope. Maybe I'll just call them scope until I officially know what it is. Cute. Okay. Now we are ready to assemble. Move these pieces out and grab our card base back in. Okay, the tricky part of this one is knowing your halves. So first, let's go ahead and add this guy with dimensionals on the back. Put two, one on each side. And he's going to go in the top left corner. So he'll be seen on both the inside and outside of the card. Mindful, when you write in this one, you can only write on the below part because it'll look weird if you have writing up there. So just be aware when you go to sign your name on the inside, you say below, say sublime for it. All right, this one, you only need liquid glue on the bottom because we do not want to stick this close. And you could even, I usually like to line it up here so I know how much of the bottom I need. We want to have that one going right about there, the halfway point, and press. Then we're going to need some dimensionals for these guys. This one's the hardest one because he is going to go up. So I'm going to kind of move it around a little bit more. And our propeller guy will only need dimensional on one side of him. So let's get this guy in here. And I almost, you know what? I'm going to switch this up. Before I put a dimensional on the back of him, but I'm going to add him right now, which is a little bit of my stamping seal. And that way I don't have to worry about putting a dimensional on him and not having him like close the card. So I put a little bit of adhesive back there, and I'm just going to attach him right now. Nice. Now what I could do is take a dimensional over that spot and secure that as well. Perfect. Okay, dimensionals are all on. Hover him over his little circle here. You could have him right in the center if you want, or you can have him, you want to make sure that you still see green on parts of it. So keep that in mind. Cute. And then our propeller friend, again, figure out which one's the bottom of them. It's going to be my bottom right here, so I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to grab my mini dimensional for ease. Put them on only that one side and tuck it so it looks like it's behind our submarine friend. And press down. Nice. That's looking good. And next we just need to do some embellishing. And this time we just have a cluster of 3 together here on this bottom right corner. Go with the large first. He goes. And then make a triangle-like shape. Oops, see that one happened again. Sometimes I pull it off just too hard. And then we'll have one here and another one there, creating a little triangle cluster. So cute. You are sublime. That one is such a fun fold and fairly easy to make. It's just cutting it here and here along that score. All right, our last card. This one has the most stamping and it's probably the most intense, but it is also really, really fun. In the PDF, there is a piece of paper that shows you exactly how to cut this card base. Oh, let's get the card back in so you see what we're making. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is a fun fold of all fun folds because it comes out, check this out. You can sit it up like that. And it is just super, super fun. There is some tricky parts about this, and my main tip to you is to have a pencil handy. That's how I was able to cut out this card base. I'll show it to you undecorated so you can kind of see how it works. So we have score lines galore and score lines here to create this fun fold. Again, measurements, you can send me an email and I can you can order the PDF if you aren't a Kit member. Kit members refer to your PDF and then we can make it over and over again. And I honestly wanted to send you this piece of paper without having anything cut, but then I end up cutting it for you because it fit nicer to ship. So I apologize that you don't get to cut your own paper, but it is ready for you, Kit members, so that's the perk. Okay. Then you'll have pieces of designer series paper. Follow along. I always cut the longest one first for this one. And that will give you enough space on your piece. So you're cutting out 2 of these sizes on your paper, and then you'll need to cut out 2 of those ones. So cut the long one first. You'll have enough. And then just be mindful of the waves. So we're just going to glue this on now. So it'll give us some dry time. The scallop looking, I have it going so it's drooping down. So when you cut your paper, make sure that you're cutting it the right direction of the design. All right. And we're going to have a lot of stamping here, so bear with me as we get this part put in. You might want to open it up because it does go below. I'll put shimmy that one a little bit better. There we go. And this guy here. The fun thing about the way that we cut this DSP is that it does match. So that's the top color going through to the side and it matches all the way through. So that's super fun. And you can see that it's different bottoms because it's a different part of the paper. So super cute there. Okay, pause on the assembling and let's get to stamping. There are 2 parts you need to stamp on. So the original design has it in the Azure Afternoon, but I tell you, I was having the hardest time with mine and the circles there because it's just way too wet. So I switched mine to Pool Party. Let me see if I can get the magic touch today. And if I can't, go ahead and try it in the color that is supposed to be in based from the kit directions. You will have a full piece of basic white for this one, and you will have a little strip for this guy. This guy we're going to be stamping on some of your cute creatures. We'll do that first because that's a little bit easier. And we are going to do the octopus, and he's going to be in Pretty Peacock. So we'll get out that ink. We need our fresh freesia for our little fishes. And I missed one of the fishes last time, so I'll make sure I grab it today. All right, here's our octopus. He's cleaned. We cleaned him before. He has a little bit of that purple residue. Okay, now he's clean. And if you want, you can punch out your Submarine so you have a reference of where. That's why I kept that guy handy. And to know where we should put our octopus. Pretty Peacock, do my practice with my octopus first. See, oh, look, see, he's totally missing. You see that on the paper there? That center ink. So just press a little bit more if that happens to you, and take it over to something that is white so you can actually see. Cute. Okay, make sure we get that nice and inked again. And he's gonna go, oh, I see that. All right, that looks nice. Okay, he's gonna go right here above our Submarine to the left. Perfect. Grab our fishies and our fresh freesia. I can put my Pretty Peacock away so I don't make inky messes, which I already have, but to make any more inky messes. Okay, grab our cute little fishes. We have a little school of fishes here that are a cluster of 3. We're gonna go ahead and ink it up in our fresh freesia. Do a quick practice, nice. And then we're gonna have one above our Submarine. I'm gonna let this guy go a little bit lower. And he's gonna have about 2.5 of our fishies stamped on there. This one's gonna have a full 3 fishes. And then this one is supposed to have another little set behind the propeller area. Okay, cute, cute. We can put that one away now. And we're on to our next fun part, which is going to be to stamp all of our shapes. Okay, for this one, we have some sand where we want to do first. I'm gonna do my sand right here. Some of these will be fussy cut and some of these will be punched out. So actually only the Submarine will be punched out. So I wanna do my pieces strategically, there we go, on our piece of basic white. Crumb cake for our sand. Get that in and ink it up. This one's going to be a larger one, so if it's hard for you to ink this one up, flip your ink pad over. That looks almost good. And I'm not going to even worry about practicing this one because he's kind of just like in filler space. He doesn't have to be perfect. Or he doesn't have as much detail. We're going to fussy cut this one out in a minute too. Okay, there's our sand. And then let's grab our Submarine. And I'm going to try that Azure Afternoon and see if I can get it to work for me. I have a magic touch today. Again, we make Submarines are for punching out. So make sure it's in that same direction. See, look at that. How much? Let's do a practice just with that guy. So he's just too blotchy. So I have to be careful. Oh man. I might need to grab a spoon and like wipe off this. Because then if I put too much pressure on it, then it gets those rings around the parts. What should I do? I think we're going to wipe it clean. And we're going to change it again. I use Pool Party because that's the color I know is going to work with my ink pad. Let's find him just to make sure that I don't mess this up. The Balmy Blue would work as well. There you go. Here's my Pool Party. We'll do a practice run with this one. And stamp. That will work. We'll make that. It's not too juicy, too wet. Okay, and bottom right. It's a little blotchy, but that's okay. If I wanted to, I could grab my blender pen and show you, and we can help blend that color that's a little blotchy. Here's a blender pen. I'm going to just take and color in those white spots by grabbing the ink right next to it. And just kind of fill that in. There we go. Okay. Keep on stamping. So we still have the seaweed, star, and the crab to go on our piece here. So let's grab those next one. Let's grab our seaweed and happy birthday. And so this one, make sure we're not stamping it right above here. So most of my other stamps are going to come over to this side. And we need our seaweed. I'm going to do actually my happy birthday first. Make sure he's nice. Practice. Perfect. And I'm going to stamp him right along this bottom here. Good. Then we'll stamp our cute little seaweeds. We'll need 2 of those. 1 and 2. And then we need our cute little crab. Berry burst for this one. Make sure he's not, there we go. Remember, he gets too much ink and he gets a little bit, loses his eyes. Oh, okay. Wipe it and give it another try. Too much ink. I need to be softer with my ink pressing. There we go. Come over here. Do a soft crab. Nice. Okay. Oh, the starfish. I almost forgot him. So I told you this one has lots to build on it. Let's grab the Lost Lagoon and our cute little starfish guy. And let's put this ink away. Lost Lagoon and our starfish friend. Do a quick little taps. Practice him. Cute. And nice. He has a little bit, yeah, he lost his eyes on that one. So I'm going to do a second stamping of this one. Okay. Come by our crab up here. Nice. That one didn't lose detail. See, this one has a little bit more of those holes, and you can actually see his eyes. Sometimes these have so much detail in it that you have to be careful not to overpress. All right, let's punch out our submarine for the last time. And almost holding it and press. Nice. The rest of these are fussy cutting, so grab a drink while I fussy cut the rest of these out, and or fast forward if you don't need to watch this part. I do already have pre-punched the propeller and that little scope. For the happy birthday, I'm just doing more of a straight cut. We'll go above it so I have some turn space. There we go. And I probably should have started with my sand, so I apologize for that. We'll get that here out of the way. And I want to just kind of remove the pieces from everything so it's easier to work with. So I'll go along this edge here, straight edge for our sand. And then follow along with the edge to create those little hills here. You notice when I cut, I always use the inside of my scissors and not the tip of my scissors. that helps create a smoother cut and makes it go faster. Okay, next we have our seaweed. These ones don't have to be perfect. I'll do a quick cut and then a real cut. I'm gonna go around and I'm just gonna dip in, kind of like how we did with the octopus. I'm only going to go to the first bend in there, up and around. There's a name for this fun fold. Sadly, I cannot think of it. I want to call it like a step because it has like a little step in the bend of it right here, kind of. But I honestly cannot tell you what the name of this type of fun fold is. Super cute. Okay. My tip for you though, when you do use that fun fold, is that to use a pencil to mark your score line. So when you do the actual cutting of it, you can see the stopping points. I made that mistake a couple of times and had to restart because I cut too far. I needed a visual, and it's hard to see a score line sometimes on the paper trimmer. So use a pencil so it can be erased, but visual. And for when I did that one, I'd always score with the smallest scores first. On the outsides is like at the see if I see it. Oh, I don't have it in front of me, sorry. I want to say like the 1 1/4 spot, and it's 1 inch, 2 inch. There we go. I always score those ones first, and then I cut and then I scored the center one, the 4 1/4 score right there. It was my last thing I did. So score, cut, score. Okay, little crab friend. Oh, he is so cute. What a fun color for him too. Usually crabs, you think of them as red, but I love that reason the berry burst for him. Matches with our fun color scheme that we have going on, our summer fun. Summer's almost over. Oh, it's bittersweet, right? All good things must come to an end so that we can enjoy other things as well. All right, little star friend. Yeah, that's the one I liked. Going around his little snorkel. This is a good thing to do while watching your favorite show that you've seen a million times, so you don't have to actually look. Okay, those are all our pieces. Now we can officially assemble. I'm going to scoot them aside. We're going to glue this guy first. And you can either use liquid glue or your Stampin' Seal. He is going to go over that DSP a little bit on the bottom. So you're going to look at it, you're like, this isn't the right measurement. Don't worry, it's going to go. So we're going to have the top up here for our border banner. There we go. Then we'll grab our liquid glue, flip our sand over. He goes next. Try to have the liquid glue on the bottom of the sand so that way we can kind of sneak things behind as well. And have him go flush on our DSP. There we go, nice. Now we can, press that down, add our seaweed. And the seaweed, it was actually, she had added it with dimensional, so it's up to you how you want to do that. Let me save my little ones for my little guys. I'm going to put a dimensional only on one side of my crab. I'll put a dimensional on the back of my star here. And my big dimensionals, I have, they're face down so I couldn't see them. Of course. Put dimensional on the back of that one, back of that guy, and our happy birthday. Flip him. And put back there. And our submarine. And our propeller and our, we all need dimensionals. We're going crazy right here. All right, we'll have 2 on there. Again, I liked how I snuck that other one on last time. So I think we'll do that, and we'll add this guy here. Oh, I put enough adhesive. Nope, I didn't get close enough to the edge. There we go. A little more adhesive. Let's stick that one there. And then I will put a small dimensional on the very end of that one. And then we can put 2 small dimensionals on the back of our propeller. And we should be all dimensional ready. Okay. Let's add our seaweed. We'll just tuck this one underneath a little bit of our sand. That's why we want that liquid glue on the bottom. And gave it some dry time. This one I'm actually going to have on the top of the sand. And then we're going to put our little crabby guy. So he's over. Oh, and I put him on the wrong backside. So I wanted him, let's see. Let's just remove that one and give him a new one. There we go. Because he's going to be on the seaweed as well, he doesn't need dimensionals on both sides. So just put him on his side with a snorkel. We'll grab our starfish. We'll put him over our seaweed here. Let's see if we left ourselves enough space. I hope so. If not, we'll trim down our happy birthday a little bit more. Oh, perfect. And I could either set that in the sand or have it over the sand. It's up to you. Kind of like it. Ooh, nice. So we have some more sand up front. That's cute. Okay, remove our dimensionals for our submarine. And we'll place him so that you see his little fishy friends. So that one I probably could have done a little bit higher. You can still see them, but and that one right there is completely gone because I covered up with the happy birthday. Sorry. So you can look at either one to get an idea of where to place those. Remove the backing of our propeller. Slide that one in. Cute. And we can still see our fishies there, so that's good. And then we just need to embellish. Grab our pearls. And we're going to put one large one by our crab friend. And by our birthday right here. Oh, there we go. Press and release. And then those 2 little ones over by our star friend. Again, changing the direction of it will change what the shape looks like. So I have horizontal and vertical directions for these oval ones. So cute. There we go. Those are our cute little pearls, our happy birthday, and our submarine. And look at this fun fold. Can't even get enough of that. That is so, so cute. All right, let me get all these back in again so you can see them. We have our You Are Sublime with our fun fold friend there. And then we have our blimp floating by to say hi and sending oceans of love. There's just so many fun things you can make with this stamp set. I hope you guys have learned something new and have loved this video. And I'm sorry for being so long-winded, but it was a great, great set. Have a great day and happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.